Hello, Willow. What's happening that's requiring a restart? Well, I need to download the .NET, a .NET executable to see if that would work. It doesn't launch. Um, if I go to the launcher, we get unable to start correctly with a memory address. That happens. Could use Nova Chrysalia, a mod manager that's got information on it. If I launch it, packed mode, we get the same error. So the fix GitHub. Now I've already downloaded that. So this one goes to white data prog win bin here. Grab these, add those, replace the files. Place the files. Like, oh, what do you think? No, okay. Replace the files, which means they're already there. Maybe we should remove these. D input, no. D9 and these two. Delete these. Maybe this will allow it to run. Let's see. No. Okay, so what was the other one? Licenses. So I'm missing a licenses folder, and that's why? That'll be embarrassing. That's Jimble's not reading instructions. Okay, cool. Okay, crash fix. Just read. Installed if it's, yep. We'll get large address of it. Patch, it's not going to be the problem. Character here. Some other people have stated if you do this, compatibility mode for Windows 7, it has a better chance. Nope. Not up to the enhancement stage. Windowed mode? I mean, if I have to. No. Cool. Data execution prevention. Possibly. And nope, you don't get to see next bit, I'm afraid. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Bad system settings. Okay, look, I'll show you again. And display capture. Memory address error. Unable to start correctly. That's it. We get this error message. I'm turning display capture off so because I'm fiddling about in my settings. Oh, it's too small. Oh, okay, well that's reasonable. It's a memory address error. Probably. It just says unable to start. You are definitely welcome to take a look. How can I make it larger? I know a solution. We put it in Discord. Yeah. Pop it here. We go stream chat. There's a screenshot of the error, Willow. It's in Discord for you. System. See, that's not where it is anymore. This is Windows 7. And there it is. Well, there we go. Protections. It's off for that though. So those I select. Insane that this is the solution. Synapse, common, Final Fantasy 13, white data, frog, win, bin, that one. Yes, I sure have. The next step is to The next step is to tell the verify game files to delete everything and re-download it. Because I have installed some modded files, but I've also installed modded files and had it working before. Just on a different machine, that's all. Tyranny. But that's quite all right. I am happy to boot up Tyranny. We don't have to get started on Final Fantasy 13 tonight. Updated the stream information. Received a missive from the voices of Narad. Dearest Fatebinder, champion of Tunon's gavel, slayer of Quiremen, we hope you recognize that we bear you no ill will. Who understands treachery if not the Archon of Secrets? We've always held the very highest esteem for the work of other specialists in the arts duplicitous. Make no mistake, dear Fatebinder, after your little performance of Vendrian's Well, with such a flair for the theatrical illumination, you have ascended in our estimate. We trust you will understand that when we peel the flesh from your bones and squeeze the bile from your quivering innards, it's strictly out of artistic integrity and a courtesy owed a fellow professional. Nothing personal at all. But enough about our friendly rivalry. Do you enjoy the company of our little spy? Her dance never fails to inspire us in the most pleasant quivers. We have a gift for her, delivered through you due to the girl's questionable faculty with letters. We've learned from one of our birds that a mercenary in Haven has been absolutely gloating about slaying her sisters. His post even secured him work defending some crossing merchant. Show her the sigils on the reverse. She'll know what they mean. The opposite page contains several rough ink scratch symbols that look like nothing more than a child's pictographs of their favorite animals. Inquire further. Archon of Secrets. No doubt you intended your message to elicit violence and chaos. That's standard for you, however, so I'm left to wonder, what else do you hope to accomplish? Send. In his missive, the voices of Narat ask you to provide us with new evidence regarding the people that killed the members of her previous gang. Speak with us.
Can't do that.
Discuss how you will proceed. Yeah, I think the solution is delete, re-download, reinstall, run. And, like, that's the troubleshooting step, but I also can't re-download it while on stream. My bandwidth just won't handle it. It'll complain. Encounter in the burning library. Make out a few figures on the road well ahead of you. The glint of iron and bronze marks them as well armed and armored. Two feature the broad shoulders of beastmen haulers and lead a heavily laden cart. As you near, you recognize the standard flung from their cart boasts the heraldry of Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice. They hail you as you approach. You recognize the woman who leads the procession as a minor functionary in Tunon's service by the name of Alma. Her clothes bear the red, black, and gold of the court, but she keeps her light brown hair in a carefully braided bun atop her head. Speak. Played by the Monhas, she greets you with a bow. I travel in the Archon's service. The cart behind me is laden with supplies, all at a reasonable price. Is there anything I can provide you? Shop. Alma grins. Of course. Let me show you what I have. She pulls the cover of her cart with a flourish. Okay. Sash is dropped. Very impressive. Can sell out Croft. No. Don't sell the ceremonial Tunon's gear. Just in case. I'm highly tempted to put it back on before we go chat. The dude face, there it is. The hardy headgear. If only it'll be just... Let's be a little... Like, hey, look, I still know what side of the... I still know what side of the bread is buttered. Where my bread is buttered from.
I can't.
What side butter comes on my bread. How do I get buttered? I am hot and butter me. Bread me. The shadows before you twist and flare, fusing sharply into the form of blade and mark. The Archon of Shadows glides smoothly into his new surroundings.
You're not dead yet? Good. Keep this up, as I've no interest in searching the shadows for your corpse. I've caught a few glimpses of what you did back there with the Edict of Fire. Did you mean to channel the magic of the Edict?
Not sure what you mean.
You don't? From my vantage point, the torrents of arcane fire didn't just vanish. They roiled and billowed like smoke. I could have sworn you were channeling that energy. Perhaps the magic was seeking you. Whatever the case, you seem a little different. You smell of brimstone and crisped parchment. You are different than before you broke the edict. I will leave it at that. Either way, you filch the silent archive and can benefit from its influence. To be honest, even I don't know the full extent of what knowledge it can offer you, but I do know the sages poured lifetimes of effort into it. I imagine the archive was at its most useful when it was still a part of the library, before the edict did a number on it. But even now, it has a myriad of secrets to share. Can you hear its whispers? No? Then listen harder, kid.
I was never allowed to see the Silent Archive when it was in working order, but I knew there were elaborate rituals to put information into the archive, or to ask a specific question of it. You are holding the physical vessel of the Silent Archive, and while I doubt it was designed to be used outside of the chamber where it's been housed for centuries, I'm told sages who used to work with the archive reported it would speak to them in their dreams. In the benign educational sense, not in the go crazy and eat your family sense of things. I'm sure it's perfectly safe.
If Bladenlock says I'll benefit from possessing it, then I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Yakon arches a red smeared brow. He smirks, though he at least makes a pretense of attempting to keep a straight face.
You need to be a lot more threatening than you are now, and a little study and practice won't suffice. You'll need to aim bigger. You'll need to track down the relics of tears that escaped capture in the war. In the Blade Grave, the Stone Sea, and Haven each, there lies at least one artifact that can aid such an aura. Be prepared to travel far and wide in the effort to recover them. Aside from the practical point of getting you armed, uncovering these relics could lend you some legitimacy in the eyes of the Tearsmen, depending on how you go about it, of course.
I'm headed to Lethian's Crossing. Is there something I should look to acquire?
Tunon has sent a forge-bound master to the crossing, and this mage-smith has just finished work on a masterpiece dubbed the Magebane. It's an iron helmet infused with wards against the Bane. While this is intended to help keep the settlement free of scourges from the nearby old walls, it would be of great use to you personally.
Yoink.
Call it a hunch, but I'm betting you'll find the Magebane's creator, Zedenya, sweating over the fires of Lethian's forge. And while I doubt you can just convince her to hand you the helm, her knowledge of it could prove helpful to your little heist. The crossing is by a junction in the old walls, so you'll have a chance to put the helmet's Bane ward to the test. When you're ready, meet me here once more. We'll discuss what's next.
The few patches of color on the Archon begin to darken as the edges of his form ripple and blur, diffusing into an intangible blackness. Farewell. The Archon dissolves into the shadows. Maybe I should tell him to wait and ask questions at one point. Hey, missive. Fatebinder, regardless. Fatebinder Monhas, forgive me the curtness of this rushed missive. The matter is too urgent for the luxury formalities. I know you braved the flaming ruins of the Vellum Citadel. The archive, did you find it? Is it safe? Rogalus, asking for further information. Fatebinder Rogalus, you seem to possess more than a passing familiarity with the Silent Archive. I thought it was something of a secret. Perhaps an exchange of information is in order. Tell me what you know of it, and I can provide you with its current whereabouts. Subtle, Monhas, jeez. We got dialogue with everyone. But I want to go see Tunon in his court. Do 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 do. Received a missive from the voices of Durat. Ah, Fatebinder, you wound us. Have we ever needed incentive beyond violence and chaos? If we have an ulterior motive, it is merely to see what the verse does with our gift. She's well practiced in both of these qualities, and we take incredible pleasure in observing her development. Set aside your paranoia and share in our delight, Monhas. A matter archival. Fatebinder Monhas, you have me under Mark's blade. I possess only scraps regarding the archive. Fragments gleaned from oblique references across a dozen texts. The sages sought a way to preserve all knowledge they collected, yet have it easily accessible to those they felt worthy of their secrets. I have found no reliable references to what solution they eventually settled on, but there certainly exist indications they implemented something Several documents intercepted over the years, some as recently as a Conquest of the Tears, makes reference to sages bearing their discoveries to the Vellum Citadel as tributes to be paid to the Silent Archive. The manner in which they wrote of it, I half expected to tell me that the archive is a living person, some sage volunteer kept alive, or else in a state very lifelike, through every stroke. Through the guild's arts of preservation and healing, their mind forcefully filled to its borders with every stroke of ink set to punishment, compelled through sigils of domination to reveal what they know to those bearing secret signs. I enter the realm of speculation, I fear, for we have exhausted what little evidence I have. Keep me in suspense no longer, Monhas. What became of the archive? I consign the knowledge hidden in the Silent Archive to the flame as per the Overlord's restrictions on forbidden knowledge. Surely you expected nothing less of me.
It is rare enough that anyone has the opportunity to proclaim an edict, much less break one. How are you holding up, Fatebinder?
I toy with powers greater than my understanding, and yet I don't stop.
At least you are aware of your recklessness. I would be more concerned if the case was otherwise. Take care that you don't exhaust yourself and become worthless to the war effort.
Varric looks you up and down with appraisal, keeping any conclusions to himself.
What can I do for you?
That's twice now. By Kyros's icy nethers, twice! Edicts have been broken before, but never in all my many years have I heard of one person doing it twice.
Anybody can do it. Just think about the wording of the edict and you'll find Kairos has left options.
That's like saying winning a war is as simple as raising a giant army and making all the right maneuvers. Knowing what must be done and actually doing it, well, that's the dividing line between being a legend and being forgotten.
That's all for now.
That's twice now you've undone one of Kairos' edicts. If you're trying to invite the wrath of the Overlord, good job. The sages have their share of enemies, and there are some that may have thought the Edict of Fire a suitable fate. Regardless of what the sages do or don't deserve, the knowledge in the Vellum Citadel belongs to all of us, and Kairos' destruction of that knowledge is what really tangles my line. Breaking the Edict of Fire is a signal to Tyranny. The Overlord can be defied. The punishments can be overturned. More specifically, you are the one who can undo the Overlord's whims.
Ebb points at you with her staff.
What is it you need?
Let's return to our travels. I think they're probably going to be disappointed. Hi, Maury. Another missive from Fatebinder Callia. We are playing Tyranny. Fatebinder, allow me to be the first to congratulate you on resolving the situation in the burning library. You should see Fatebinder wriggle his vie against himself. Half of him reels at the sheer loss of tomes, historical and magical, yet he cannot contain his glee at hearing the sages have finally and entirely been broken. I do not share his loathing of the old school. They built their own empire on their hubris, true, but my opposition to them remains purely professional. To have the old Vellum Citadel truly destroyed, my eyes burn at the secrets that met the flame. Comfort comes when I remember that an ambitious Fatebinder would have preserved a few choice pieces of lore, perhaps as much as they could carry out. I hope you soon make an effort to join us at court in the bastard city. I often feel that it has been too long since we last whispered of the darker corners of Tyranny. You've experienced so many of them as of late. Perhaps I can provide illumination. Well, that's interesting. Any petitioners that displeased Tunon would meet their fate in the pits down below the court. Well, we're about to go talk to our boss. Not Lady Lucretius, but Tunon. This well-dressed older woman stands apart from the milling crowds of nobles. She stares off into the distance, oblivious to your approach until you're right in front of her. Oh, greetings, she offers a reserved smile. Andy Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here, a Fatebinder, no doubt. She nods. Do you need something from me? Tell me of yourself. I'm the daughter of a noble house. We were wealthy enough to live in the city, but our means beyond that were limited. My mother dealt in fish, textiles, and bronze. By the time I inherited, the business was taking care of itself. She sighs. Of course, all that changed. Thistleholm is no more, and my name has none of its former weight. Even if we were still in business, Kyros's laws would stifle our trading rights. Perhaps it's better this way. Law check. Among other things, Kyros's laws of quota and sharing meticulously regulates tradable goods. Permits are issued to deserving merchants on an annual basis, but their allowances circulate by a design known only to Kyros and Tunon. A former wool peddler may be restricted to selling only copper. In the subsequent year, trade fresh vegetables. What is Thistleholm? A great sigh deflates her. It was my family's ancestral hall. The oldest stones dated back to the years when the bastard city was naught but a dozen roofs, and wagons clustering for warmth. Compared to the houses of the great lords, it was nothing special. Age had softened the wood, and its queer placement in the warehouse district set it apart from the finer grounds where lords and ladies strolled for amusement. It was a mess, but our mess all the same. I would invite you over for tea, something stronger even, but it would only disappoint. You'll find naught there but a gaping hole. What happened? Collateral damage happened. When the adjudicator cast his judgment on the bastard city, he destroyed the districts of the corrupt merchant kings, their manors, their counting houses, and yes, their warehouses. Aged, dignified Thistleholm collapsed as a massive sinkhole opened under her foundation. Bastard City's laws may not have been perfect by Kyros's standards, but my family followed them with respect and never took a copper ring more than we deserved. I can't help but feel that my estate was not the criminal Tunon had in mind during his sentencing. So what are you going to do next? That's the question, isn't it? I appealed to the adjudicator, thinking he would see reason. After considering my case for all of 8 seconds, he awarded me a belt of rings and a plot of land on the outskirts of the city. Tunon told me to build anew and start farming. Farming? Can you believe that? She shakes her head. It's not even that I'm opposed to the labor, but we're in a war. I can't have the Scarlet Chorus breathing down my neck, raiding my crops, and Kyrus knows what else. Tunon's word is Kyrus's law, whether you think it fair or not. Don't I know it? She huffs, meaning no disrespect to you or your offers. I never questioned the power of Tunon's word. Oh, that's so silly. Oh, Captain. I come from a long line of smart, ring-savvy merchants, but even I can't reconcile Tunon's justice with Kyrus's law. There's something wrong about it all. Maybe Tunon knows something I don't, or maybe... She trails off, shaking her head in doubt. What do you mean? People come here for justice. They usually get a version of it, but it's Tunon's version, not theirs. Half of the time, they don't even get what they wanted out of a ruling in their favor. She shakes her head. The deed to a farm, for instance. Not to put my own ignorance on display, but if more people knew how Kyrus's laws worked, they might not come here seeking a ruling at all, even a fair one. Tunon is a servant of the law, but he's the Overlord's vassal as much as any of us. Sometimes it seems like he uses his position to twist everything in the Empire's favor. We're just pieces on a board, and he can move us wherever the law justifies that we stand. That doesn't sound, well, legal. Tunon isn't the one to change his mind. Unfair is it? No. Kyrus defines law. That isn't for either of us to question. She sighs. I suppose not. The bastard city used to have the laws of woman and mankind, but now we have the laws of the Overlord. The people will get accustomed to it in time, and so will I. Good day, Fatebinder. That's probably a test, right? That's gotta be a goddamn test. Oh, hi, Tunon. Hi, all of the people I pissed off. This could only turn out well, right? What do you think? Ready?
Fatebinder, your return to court is later than I expected. Were it not for Bled and Mark offering to vouch for your actions, I would have stripped you of title and the protections of Kairos.
Tunon, Archon of Justice, regards you from over his podium. I apologize for the delay, Your Honor.
Accepted. Don't make a habit of truancy in the future. It's unbecoming for an officer of the court. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. We have all manner of discordant and conflicting stories to piece together. In your own words, tell the court what transpired.
The conduct of the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus displeased me greatly. I ended the siege as I saw fit.
Even if that meant alienating your former allies, driving a rift between the court and the military, and potentially upending what we've spent 3 years building together. I wish I shared your confidence, Fatebinder. The court will ponder the testimonies we've received, and judge the matter in its proper course.
Marvel. Bloody dog. Marvel the dog has shut herself in the hallway bathroom many times. Stupid dog. There's a doorstop near that bathroom just for when I leave the house. It's supposed to be so the door doesn't shut entirely on her. And given she's a sausage dog, she has trouble getting out of there, but like turning around. I just don't want her stuck in there forever because that's not nice. Poor dog, but also so silly. She didn't just want to break into a bathroom to eat toilet paper or whatever. It'd be fine, dog. It's her own fault. So I want to get in, help her, save her from herself.
For the time being, you will continue to travel on your own accord and dispense justice to both sides of this civil war. If your presence is required here in court, we will find you. You are dismissed.
Oh. I thought it would be longer than that. Well, we probably should have come here right away. So, check out relationships. No, it's talents. There you go. Favor. Free. Wrath. Little bit. Not great. Generally, it was like, oh, kitty. Silly cat. He does not need to. There is other water. The cat does not have to drink bath water. You'll be wanting to speak with the lady in his honor. Fatebinder Furia. Circumstances were... Well, it was madness, Your Honor. No one could be expected to act in a rational way. No? Perhaps I expect too much of my servants. Is that it? No, Your Honor, but if you hear my testimony, I think you'll understand. I see a better alternative has presented itself, Fatebinder. Will you audience this case in my stead? I'm curious what manner of conclusions you draw. I'm ready to hear the case. Excellent. The testimony will begin. I'm afraid it's a sensitive matter. I was away from the city, seeing to a military camp when I discovered 2 Scarlet Chorus soldiers. She clears her throat and holds her posture firm, defiling a woman. A local from the Tears? Yes. And I understand it's a common enough occurrence in that army, but I still couldn't stand for it. I was brought up to know better. She looks up at Tunon. I was taught to be better. Horrible. Yes. Yeah, I thought so too. I fought the recruits. They fought back, but in the end my skills won out. After they were both dead, I'd let the poor woman go. The gang boss witnessed everything, though. Though he didn't intervene until it was all done, I was trussed up and brought back to court in a wagon where you'll find me now. And what fine company you made on the journey over. The gang boss spreads his lips open in a toothy grin. The defendant is charged with the murder of subjects who are owed the protection of Kairos' law. Fatebinder, I assume you wish to cross-examine. Tunon, why isn't the victim of assault a matter of concern? She was a denizen of the Tears. She has no rights under Kairos' law. This is a simple murder trial and the defendant stands before you. I would caution against burdening yourself with extraneous variables. The gang boss didn't intervene at all. If my recruits couldn't defend themselves against a glorified clerk, then their lives are forfeit as far as I was concerned. Good riddance. I'm still happy to get satisfaction out of the matter. The law is a law. All he did was joke about how the court would be merciless. Laughed all the way to the bastard city. Didn't seem particularly bent out of shape of those lost men. Sounds about right. Did you speak with the Tears woman? Only briefly. She thanked me before fleeing. I didn't want to keep her. She suffered enough at the hands of her soldiers. You don't think she said anything about wishing to join the army? She glances at you with frank curiosity. The army? Not that I... Thinking, she frowns. She definitely wasn't in the area for that very purpose. Her eyes widen as she realizes your intent. The Fatebinder nods. That's right. She only mentioned it in passing, but she told me that she was attempting to make contact with the Scarlet Chorus. You know, to join them. That was when the soldiers attacked. I hope this has a point, Fatebinder. Do you regret your actions? She frowns in thought. No. If our positions were reversed, I would have wanted someone to step in on my behalf. Kyrus' law be damned. She glances up at Tunon with momentary unease. Suppose I should keep my distance from the Scarlet Chorus in the future. I might not be able to restrain myself. I saw it happening again. I'm ready to give my ruling. Very good. Present the verdict and let us be done with this unpleasant affair. The woman intended to join the Scarlet Chorus. She was protected under Kyrus' law. Your actions were just. She delivers a bow of gratitude, holding your eye contact the entire time. Thank you for hearing my case. Fatebinder Furia, you have docked Kyrus' punishment with the technicality. Be more mindful of your delicate position in the future. Your grasp of Kyrus' law troubles me. Reeks of independent thoughts honed beyond the principled walls of my court. Yet it is your ruling. Dismissed. Yeah, I think that's the only. Fatebinder, you return. Regulus looks up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as if you actually have questions for me to untangle. Ask, I'm feeling generous. Law. Greetings. Your exploits of Vendrian's well are the topic of much discussion. One begins to question the intent behind your methods, Monhas. I hope you're not wandering a path from which you cannot return. Despite my reservations, I am most curious to hear of your travels. What can I do for you? Callio touches a gentle hand to your shoulder. You wrote that you could illuminate the darker corners of Taratus. She glances at your cadre. In a private missive, yes, there are things that we won't discuss within the hearing of outside ears. Then I suppose we'll have to discuss other matters. Let's do it. Anything you can say to me, they can hear. I'm pretty sure I was clear on my requirements, Monhas. I need to speak with the Fatebinder privately. Suppose not every conversation need be recorded. The sage shuffles away. The hulking man shrugs. As you wish. He takes up a position outside a hearing range, standing just shy of at attention. Far be it from me to intrude on your very important Fatebinder secrets. The Tidecaster crosses her arms and walks away. A sly smile dimples her left cheek. I confess to no small amount of curiosity. I peek into my share of shadows, and sometimes I scrounge up a secret. What excites your interest? Law. I thought you might have an interesting take on matters arcane. And you came to me? She chuckles. Don't like the Fatebinder of law, no? He'll never forgive you. What answers do you seek? What do you know about the sigils and their casting? I'm a practical magician, not a theorist. If you're looking for the whys of magic, I'll direct you to Regulus. You know, I'm sure that sigils are derived from the personal mark of the Archons. My understanding is that it goes a bit deeper than that, that there's something of a question about whether the Archons are stamping their will indelibly into Aratus or unearthing some hitherto unknown aspect of magic and giving shape to it. It's one of those questions that serve little pragmatic purpose. Some Archons, like occulted Jade or the Tidecasters, teach their sigils to their followers, building a group of supporters. Other times, as in the case of Sirin, the sigil is developed by those studying the Archon's work. In many cases, Archon Cairns, for instance, it's a little of both. Both guilds guard their secrets closely, but secrets have a way of slipping free. The oldest sigils can be uncovered by those who know where to look, hidden within scrolls or scrolled away in libraries, or even at the larger markets. Why have we not been taught the sigils of Tunon or Bled and Mark? Noticed that, did she? She grins. I wouldn't presume to speculate on the Archon's motives, nor would I encourage you to. Quite the opposite, in fact. She taps her lip. It's probably for the best, honestly. The Court of Fatebinders elicit enough fear among the citizenry and envy among the Archons as is. More power could very well make our work more difficult rather than less. Okay, so law dumps from our Fatebinders. Jesus. Fatebinder Nunaval. will not pretend to understand the strategic decisions you have made, but they are yours all the same. The Fatebinder of War claps you with excessive strength on the back, a greeting and a warning both. Even so, I'm curious about your travels and the tears. Come, let us speak freely. Law. I've claimed the spire at Vendrian's Well. So the court whispers were true. The Fatebender rubs his fingers on the underside of his chin, pondering his thoughts with great weight. After a moment, he offers you a wistful sort of smile. Someday I would like to witness for myself the tower that has risen above the realms like a blade thrust into the sky. Minor favor. Okay. You want lore dumps? Baby, you can get lore dumps. Aurora avoids making eye contact with you, instead carries on speaking with her company. I'm duty bound to remain civil to you in this vaunted court, but don't push it, traitor. Fatebinder. Lieutenant gives you a curt nod. I'm ill at ease in his polished hall, but I'll admit that it's a reprieve from the battlefield and training grounds. If Asher needs me to stay here and represent his interests throughout their occupation, then I'll be up to the task.
Sorry, I can't.
Blood mulch. Double kill. Kill-tacular. I'd immolate you right where you stand if it weren't for Tunon breathing down our necks. He ignores you with a stern and distant expression. Fatebinder. You're no stranger to Tunon's court, but I prefer to spend as little time here as possible. In spite of these closed walls, I feel strangely exposed. He glances up at Tunon. I don't know how you plan on fighting this war without an army, or what you think you can accomplish on your own, but I am dying to find out. You'll make our time in the tears an interesting one, won't you? He smiles for an uncomfortably long time. Of course he will. You gave me something during the conquests. Tidecaster elders to interrogate. Now I'll give you something in return. He whispers an arcane symbol in your ear, one you won't soon forget. Sigil of Emotions. Like a whole core? Jesus. Blood Chanters of the Scarlet Chorus. Siren, Archon of Song. Siren, not Siri, go away. Wave of Despair. Fuck, alright, jeez. Alright, if you don't mind, good lord. Fatigued, dazed, move speed. That's pretty good. Rage Mind. Taunting Jest, Taunted. We're not doing that. Wave of Despair. Expression Aura of Fear. That would be useful. Will require 80. Because it's an aura, I guess. AoE sleep? Jesus. Range. Okay. Alright, cool, let's do it. I think that was good. Uh-oh. Welcome back, kid. As amusing as it would have been to watch the edict dropped, I guess I'm glad you lived. Bled and Mark, Archon of Shadows, rouses from a faraway stare, turning to face you with a wry smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows that shroud him. At first his words seem odd, after all, you two have met in the Ashwheel between the edict breaking of Avendrian's Well and now. But when you shoot him a curious look, he raises his red-painted eyebrows in return, a secretive smirk quirking the right corner of his mouth. Clearly he doesn't want you mentioning a clandestine meeting in the presence of the court. Good to see you again after so long. His eyes glint with approval, and he gives you a subtle nod to seal the exchange. Want to know something? The Archon's voice ends on a playful melody, and the red face paint above his jawline creases with a smile. I think I'm not going to regret knowing it. You won in a lose-lose situation. Not saying the adjudicator was wrong to send you into certain death. Someone had to read the edict. But I like your type, kid. You're the right kind of combination of capable and too damn stubborn to die that not only survives, but thrives on suicide missions. The Archon's fighting damn well didn't help your chances. Can't say I'd have done different if it was my life on the line. Everyone's keeping an eye on you, because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? I'm the first Fatebinder to proclaim 2 edicts. No, there you go. I'm the first to resolve an edict before its consequences came to pass. Close, but not quite. It's rare. But it's not the first time the Kairos has issued an edict, primarily as a threat, providing the target sufficient time and motivation to comply in order to avoid the edict's punishing effects. Proclaiming an edict isn't new. Neither is surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict. But you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for several centuries. And now do I go on your short list of people who stand out as potential problems? More or less, mostly more. He offers you a dangerous grin. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know that the danger you're in now that you've put yourself on the map. Since you don't seem big on playing nice with the Archons, you can bet both of their armies are going to try and cut you down as you go forward. Watch out for a knife in your back. Thanks for the advice. Archon of Shadow shrugged to you in farewell, but his golden eyes are alight with interest as he watches you. What do you think? My kills in Shadow. Bled and Mark. Oh, look at that. He loves us. You return. It is gratifying that the war has not caused you to forget your roots. What is it you wish to know? I have a request from Barak at the Stone Shields. And what does Barak at the Stone Shields want of the court? He has made his displeasure known in a loud enough voice to collapse the tears upon each other. The adjudicator glanced down at Barak. He came to inquire if the Forgebound could help remove his armor. If he has become encased in iron, that is none of the court's concern. My Forgebound smiths are occupied crafting weapons for the army, and I would not have their focus diverted to liberate one soldier from his raiment. Stone Shield, do the disfavored not have standards for the upkeep of arms and armor? Is this not one of your Archon's guiding principles? It is, Your Honor, but I found myself trapped in this junk pile after the Edict of Storms hit Stalwart. If you want to blame anyone, it should be Kairos. The adjudicator contemplates the matter in total silence. The matter drags on for far longer than you suspect it warrants, but Tunon's interest does not abate for one moment. The soldier will remain encased in his armor, eccentric though it may be, and all subjects of Kairos are forbidden to aid in its removal. Magic the likes of which none of us understand has touched the stone shield, and we will not interfere with the will of Kairos. I'm trapped. Barak trails off, looking to you for answers. Say nothing. Such is the will of Kairos and the will of the court. Tunon nods and bangs his gavel. You tried. I suppose that counts for something. Adjudicator didn't say anything about me bending my way out of here, at least. Not that trying has ever made it better. Matters of law. Then you are well situated, for it is my court is the legal heart of this corrupt and uncivilized realm. Yeah, no. You can get a lot of lore if you talk for even longer. Only the slightest nod of Barak's domed helm offers any indication that the soldier noticed your approach. You okay in there, Barak? The Archon's decision changes nothing. I have persevered to this point. I shall continue to do so, for the sake of General Ash in the north. Maybe another way. Your master was very specific in his sentence. He forbade not only assistance from the Forgebound, but from anyone here in the world. No, the Archon forbade any subject Kairos to aid you. You split hairs, Binder. The whole of the world bends the knee to the Overlord. If that were the case, we wouldn't be in the tiers, would we? You're not suggesting we ask some renegade mage for aid. You would discard the spirit of the law in favor of its letter? Trust me, Barak, it's the letter of the law that matters. Not to me. The honor of a deed lies as much in its spirit as its action. Perhaps some other way to free you will present itself. Your optimism does you credit, Fatebinder, though I fear it is misapplied. The Forgebound will be curious about you regardless. His articulation on your armor is incredible. At the very least, we should let them take a look at you. My armor is unique. Perhaps I can teach him something that will aid the disfavored. We can find the Forgebound at this smithy in Lithian's Crossing. Let us leave, Fatebinder. I worry that my presence offends these nobles' precious sensibilities. He bows his head to you and moves away, trailing behind him the wafting reek of a fetid privy. It sucks. Poor guy. Lethian's Crossing. I think it's here. There you go. Ambush. Group of mercenaries, members of the Bronze Brotherhood, are blocking the road to Lethian's Crossing. Yeah. You fool! The archive was a repository like no other. It contained the collected scholarship of centuries. It should have been studied and examined by those well-versed in what lore has been restricted and what must be preserved, not burned in whole like so much dung to fuel the morning fire. You disappoint me, Monhas. You disappoint Taratas, and you disappoint the future. Alright, fuck you. Jesus, dude.
On the lookout.
You know what's a better point? Asta. Small figure stands before some armor-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not. I've come through Iron Hall Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before, and I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Fatebinder, surely you of all people can help me. My name is Asta, and I must get to Lethian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll to him or anyone, and he is to let me through. He folds his arms over his chest and nods with a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I'm sorry you've been drawn into this. What you've stumbled into here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Iron Hall Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like passage through our land, a simple donation is required. He holds out his hand. These funds help our cause and keep Iron Hall a safe place for all travelers. Clearly you both can see the value in that. Asta speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You standing there with your weapons at the ready against me? His arms drop and he turns to you again. I'm naught but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed. He points at Will. You are the only threat here? Fatebinder, please, talk some sense into this man. Here's payment for the merchant to pass unharmed. Thank you, Fatebinder. You've done a great deal of good today. Asta bows dramatically. He turns back to the soldier. And you, brute, move aside and let me pass. Will makes an exaggerated flourish and moves out of Asta's way. But of course, he raises an enormous hammer and stops Asta, pressing it against his chest. Though merchant, do be sure to have some rings of your own for your trip back. I doubt your friend here will be around to pay your way through these lands twice. He smiles, moves his hammer, and gestures for Asta to continue. Weird that I can't just, kill him. Will returns to his position and looks you over, his former genial mood gone. So, a Fatebinder in our little corner of the world. Who'd have ever thought that this would happen? He spits between his feet and crushes it into the dirt with his boot. Well, I appreciate your help dealing with that merchant. I'm afraid I can't let you pass until you've spoken with our leader, Rateman. Personally, I thought it was crazy saying that you'd be visiting Lethian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. He shakes the pouch around his neck, making the rings inside jingle melodically. Not that there's a shortage of those out here. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? Don't ask me to let you through, because that isn't happening. Barrack Loyalty 1. This ridiculous piece of mercenary offal requires a lesson in pain and obedience. Allow me to teach him. If you think you can get him to move, do it. Sellsword, attend me. I take it responsibilities have been explained to you. Keep the rabble on this side of the bridge, yes? That does not preclude taking orders from your betters. One of two things will happen. Either you will let us pass, or we will simply pass. There are no other options. Whatever role you have taken upon yourself to bar our way has already failed. You succeeded only in delaying our task and annoying me. Is your name Rotaman? Are you the leader of the Bronze Brotherhood? Caps is here to listen. No? Well, I don't think so, because he decides who crosses and who doesn't. If you have a problem with that, take it up with him. Ash, forgive me, but I can only endure so much of this fool's insane jabbering. The blur of rusted metal precedes a deafening crunch as Barrick backhands the mercenary, leaving a significant mark behind. Will rubs his cheek. Hold on, I'm just doing my job. I apologize if I offended. Rotomon will have my head if I let you through. There's nothing I can do about it. Rotomon. While you were talking to Will, a striking man in a shock of bright blonde hair approaches, moving away from some men searching bodies of slain soldiers to the south. He watches you intently as he closes, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And here's the fate binder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we'd see you. I was just wondering when. What brings you out where no one asked you to come? A Kairos dog's ready to be put down again. I won't surrender the crossing, no matter how many times you try to take it. We were hired to protect the city and will continue to do so. No one else will have it. He glances at his men, who stopped to watch the conversation. With a start, they return to searching the bodies. Never mind, he waves his hand dismissively. I don't care why you're here. My name's Raitaman, and I'm the leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. But I'm sure you already know that. Couldn't help but see you over there talking to Will and that traveling merchant. Only here for a moment, and already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. I don't appreciate others invading my territory, Fatebinder. I told him he had to speak to you, Rotaman. You water through, but I told him no. If you don't give me the signal, Fatebinder isn't getting into Lethian's Crossing. No one will invade your territory. Raitaman stares at Will for a few moments, lips pursed, then continues, as if Will never spoke. Watch yourself while you're a guest in my land. If you've come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not back down in defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arm in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I may not always agree, but there is one point we see eye to eye on. You step out of line, we will both correct you. His eyes narrow, and he leans towards you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want, or leave. You do well to watch your tone when speaking to a Fatebinder. Ratamon laughs hollowly. I care not about Kairos' forces. We've rebuffed their feeble attempt to remove us from our rightful home once already. I'm more than happy to try again. You will find I do not cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. Why are you charging travelers a toll to get through Ironhold Trail? I don't see how the affairs of the Brotherhood are your business, Fatebinder. Suffice to say, the funds we receive from our tolls help us keep the lands around Lethian's Crossing safe. We are owed our dues. We shall have them. If you're looking for trouble, here it is. I knew you couldn't be trusted, Cad. The forces of Kairos will always show their true face if push. Ratamon retreats, calling to his men as he runs. Guards, we have a snake in our midst. To arms. Fuck him.
Trouble is afoot.
Like, there's... There is no way we're going to take that from this fucking guy.
Are you afraid of death, worm?
By your command.
Like...
Damn my eyes! On your knees, worm!
Too easy.
Oh, that didn't work.
Apologies. I can't do that.
I'm enjoying this a little too much. You ready?
Good work.
Good. Are you using your cool stuff? You are good.
My armor feels come
This
and
is
feast
useless.
my iron.
You should try something else.
Good, there you
On your knees.
go. Your knees. Wow.
I got it.
I will admit, these fuckers are a bit more dangerous than the last few ones were.
Someone staunch my bleeding.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
On the other hand, can deal with them. Sick. Ooh, Bronze Brotherhood axe. Well, should have brought verse. Oh well. Need that ability cooldown. Man, so much might in Meb. Good job, Meb. Ebb. Whoop. They're up in the air. 60. The additional lore is very good, though. Leap and taunt? Amazing. A gap closer and a taunt? Incredible. Okay, so
This will be fun.
you are now engaged. Not in a fun way. Sweet. Thank you
Will
for
do.
moving into melee ring. Going. I think we can just auto attack. Yeah, we got this. Boop.
Smash to pieces.
Ta-da! Oh, we got a whole Bronze Brotherhood set. And then I'm gonna throw it into the river, because fuck those guys. Yank. Special bronze dagger. Brought in ruin. Common! 9 to a something. 11, I think. 13. It's just a dagger. 13 to 10. Okay, that's quite a lot better. It's a shame we're no longer going to have people explode when we stab them, but you know. Silent Archive. Oh, it's an accessory. Let's resolve trap detection. Sweet. Bing! Yeah, now you have an AoE damaging spell you can use. What? The hell? I don't think that's how it... What? That is how that's supposed to work. Sigil of cycling. Ah, reduce cooldown. First level. We did it. Well done. Guys, thanks.
Time to lighten my step.
Trouble is afoot.
You feel silly for like letting Barrack get up to you? Clank,
Oh,
clank,
that's
clank,
good.
clank. Monhas, please.
I'm on it.
Take that.
That's how it's done.
This isn't gonna go
This is
particularly well.
useless. Should try something else.
Someone staunch my bleeding. I'm going down.
What even happened? Because I had the temerity to suggest this isn't going to go well for those enemies. The random number generator
Sorry,
is always
I
listening.
can't. Sorry, I can't.
Not quite as impartial as it pretends. Leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. All 6 of them are here. Okay.
Can't do that.
How did it go for him? Well, I mean, the leader ran. We didn't fight him. Probably so we can fight him soon. I kind of wish I could change character, like change party members from here instead of having to travel all the way back, right? Yeah, that's where I spent all my maintenance cost. None. Hooray! Oh, that's what the scrolls are for. Oh, okay. Cool. Not that I can do anything yet. I don't need to change that. That's fine. Just my dudes. My fellas. My team. Kill the Bronze Brotherhood guys.
This was fun.
Okay, well,
Stand together.
My wisdom is finally catching up to my age.
Combo interrupted. You'll pay for this.
Well, wrong weapon for the job. I need to try something else.
Nicely done.
Yes!
Come on. We got it. We gotta
Pull
heal him.
yourself together.
Fuck, god damn it. Come on.
I'll take
Are you afraid of death? Worm?
Just give me the signal. I can't take much more of this.
Good work.
Good. Alright, well done. Oof. Alright.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Right.
I got it.
Merchant hits are a common sight on Lithian's Crossing. Not bad.
This is useless. I should try something else.
is it? Artifact abilities. Foe AoE. Slow them all down. There you go. I like this. I like that this one you can't do anything. It's great.
This is useless. I'm injured. I got it.
Weakness.
I did that? Nice!
This is useless. I should try something else.
Yeah, that's why you got some spells, Monhas. Don't worry. Okay. Well, good. You gained Wrath with Bronze Brotherhood. Good. Superior quality.
Will do.
Lower the bridge. Oh, that's gonna be tough. What if? I didn't log into Paradox beforehand, but self wits. What, forever? Doesn't say for how long, so it's not appearing as a temporary buff. Fine with me. Ah, back in a second, everybody. Alright.
We'll get some socks. He's definitely got to get socks again. He also asked about yellow socks. I don't know which one. I think it's because he helped me with my socks that had yellow on them. But we'll have a look. We'll see if we can get some socks. Angela, we've got to have a look at the yellow socks.
Sleep tight. I love you. Yeah, we're back. We're back in a bit.